Hey guys, Jen Graves here, doing a Manga Vault for you guys. Another one. And this one is actually stuff that's a little more recent that I added to the vault. And stuff trying to clean my shelves out a little bit, make them look a lot better. And so I kind of cleaned this stuff off, which I think is the last 4 boxes. So hopefully you guys will know a little bit more of these ones that are in here or in these last boxes instead of all the other ones where it was just kind of like all this really old stuff that you guys probably didn't know. So, sorry, a little cough going. So, anyway, let's dive into it. We have this one, Hour of the Dinosaur. Really kind of old one, but I think it's really good because it gets into kind of jokes and whatnot and talking about dinosaurs. I mean, you guys can obviously see how it's drawn, but it gets into it and talks about how they are and kind of puts a little bit of a comical spin on it because it is for younger audiences right there, since it's Viz Kids. But it's great. Like I said, you know, I like reading a bunch of different stuff, and so some of them where it's like this, where they take the time out to, even though they're kind of like a crude drawing or whatever of it, they're still pretty funny. All that other stuff. So, you guys can't see it, but let me lift my legs up a little bit. So the box is like right here, so but then we have this one, this one I think is a little more well known. This is Dinosaur King. Again, another one based on dinosaurs. I think there's an anime also that's out for it currently. Let's see. We have this one. This is an old series, or an older series. Let's see if I can find the stuff starting out for it, though. Book 1 is not in here on the top with those ones, so I think it's right here if I can get them out. Yes, they are. Okay, so this is the one that Viz actually dropped. Kind of like one of my other favorite ones that you guys know about, Zatch Bell. This one was dropped, and they don't actually claim them anymore, which is upsetting. There's a few titles that Viz doesn't claim anymore, like almost like they never owned it, which is kind of weird, but you know. But this is Kurohime. Really good. This is about basically like witches and gunslingers, and so with her, like, her gun is magical, and she can pump her magic power into it and use different spells. I'd say this one kind of seems like Reborn and any old one that has witchcraft in it. There's one part where she uses a spell, but she turns her gun around and shoots herself in the face. And taking on the bullet, it gives her like iron skin. You know, some other one she'll shoot it and it'll be like a giant earth dragon. Just a bunch of different stuff for them to show that. But she's got a curse on her too, which makes her look like this as a little kid. And then she turns into our main character after her emotions kind of get tied in with the boy here. And he's actually known as like the fastest gunslinger because he carries like 6 pistols on him, and he moves so fast that he can cycle through all of them and shoot them. So that's kind of another cool aspect for that character. But this one was really cut short. It's only like 14 volumes long, which is upsetting. Was never finished. And some of the volumes were a little hard to try and find. Not that they were expensive, it was just you couldn't find them in really good condition, which is something that I kind of hated. But you know, I got them and I tried to keep them as in close condition as I got them in, if they were in good condition or whatnot. You know, usually most of mine, if not all of my manga, I'd say there's probably like 0.5% of mine that may have a little damage to them. That's something like I didn't do. I know I have one that somebody was using a box cutter to open it, and there's, through like the last 10 pages, there's a line going through them, and you can actually kind of like pull it apart a little bit and see through the page. So, you know, I just, when I was reading the series, I kind of avoided doing that. But I mean, it's kind of a thing here and there. Different stuff happens, and you never know how it's going to affect your book. So, like I said, though, I try and keep all mine in almost near mint condition, unless it's something, you know. Some of them you can't really do that with because of like yellowing purposes. Some of your manga will yellow eventually. Like this one, I can show you that. These ones look white, but you can tell the two on the outside are more yellow. And that's just from having them for a while. Let me see if I can get the rest of these out. Okay, so this one's first. This is Nora, the Last Chronicle of Devildom. Basically, this guy that is a devil gets taken in by a human, and he is the owner, so they have like a master-slave relationship, but he treats him more kind of like his dog. And he's got his own problems, so they're trying to figure that out at the same time. There's two. And different like demons come to try and like break them up, or to kill the human to get the power. I mean, just a lot of stuff. And I think it's a really good one too, because at some point they have to focus on the whole thing of on, even though the master guy is smart, that hey, you also have to learn some stuff to help me out. You know, your ability has to be just as strong as mine if you're my owner, kind of thing. This is both of them together. Look at that hairstyle right there. I mean, both of them are just crazy. But yeah, it is pretty crazy. Just some of them that they choose to release, and then it kind of seems like they don't go very far with them sometimes. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, which is odd. Let's see. This one, everybody should know the name of it, but not everybody may have known the series. This one is Monster Hunter Flash Hunter. Obviously, you should know the video game series Monster Hunter. It is one of those ones that's out there that's pretty big, that people should know. There was one other one that was done in this series that is a Monster Hunter. Well, not in this series, but that another person did that was Monster Hunter related. And that one is by I can't remember if it's the same guy that did Soul Eater or if it's the same guy that did one of the other series. Actually, it was probably Mashima. That's the other one I was thinking. I do believe that it is one of Mashima's ones. He did another one called Monster Hunter Origin, and it was only 4 volumes, but he kind of went in and did his telling of Monster Hunter. So there is more here and there with different things if you look at it, where people have done stuff before, and especially like mangaka that you know, diving in a little deeper and seeing stuff like that where it's kind of like, oh my gosh, you know, my favorite mangaka wrote this, you know, kind of one of those things. My only complaint on this one is they call it Monster Hunter, but then they try and make everything, or call them like all dragons, and that's my only one. Like there was one that was like a Kirin, and it's kind of like a lightning horse unicorn kind of thing, and they were referring to it as a dragon, and it was kind of like, but isn't it supposed to be a monster? So it's kind of my only complaint with Monster Hunter, is it's not really monsters. I think it would have a better title if it was Dragon Hunter, because they almost make everything a dragon. So, and then here's the last one, which this shows, I think, everybody from the series on it. Pro tip, guys, just so you guys know, if you ever see anything that has all the characters in the series on the front cover, I would say probably 9.5, 9.5 out of 10, that is probably the last volume of the series. Usually they do that. They will bring everybody back for like a last pick. And some of you may have seen it, some of you may have not. But usually if that's the last one in the series, you'll usually see all the people come back together. You know, maybe characters that died, you'll see them too on the cover. Just a lot of different stuff like that. Not a lot of people know that, so that's just kind of a pro tip for you guys to know. And it'll also kind of be a little bit bigger. If you realize it or if you don't, usually it'll be a little bit bigger. Like Volume 9 is pretty big in this series. It's a little bigger too, but Volume 10 you can clearly tell the difference in size of it. So that's another thing. If you get a book and automatically you look at it and it's a little bit bigger than the previous ones, most of the time that will be the last one too, because they usually throw in an extra chapter or two. I think I got all of this one out. I do have all of this one out. I don't know if I have all of the next one in here or not. This one, though, everybody should know this. If you guys don't know this one, you need some help. So, this one is Sailor Moon, obviously. I love these little things on the back. I think they actually, because I have the box set, excuse me. I have the box sets for them. So, I think they actually have like little stickers of the girls on the back, which is really cool. They look exactly like that, but I totally enjoy it. And obviously, you know, this is one that I kind of grew up with when I was younger, because of Toonami, stuff like that. And I just really remember the beginning ones, if you know what I mean. I don't really know, I think, past Mini Moon. So when they had some of the other ones come out, I was kind of like, who are these people? So, but I remember like watching this and knowing that theme song, something, you know, da da da, and the ending was like, she is the one called Sailor Moon. That whole thing. I'm sure everybody just kind of was like, I know what he's talking about. So, the really cool thing too is this is one of the first pop series that I actually helped Bizarre Individual get all of, because he was short like I think 2 of them, and I ended up buying one, and then we ended up finding the other one at the store when he was down here, and it was really cool being able to see that and actually see somebody complete a pop series section based off of like the back of the box, you know. See if I can grab one of these. Like this one right here. This is one that he's collecting too, so that's why I have it. Anyway, you know, whenever you get all these, and if you're a real big collector, you collect all those, and you collect the exclusive, which is will be kind of like that, but with a different thing on it, kind of. Let's see. Then we have this one, which this is another one everybody will know. I'm not even going to pull this. I'm going to pull every volume out of the box. I'm not even going to pull the whole thing out of the box and put it over on the side. I'll just pull it up and move it. But this is Orin Host Club. So, if you guys ever thought that Jen Graves did not have any shoujo or anything closely related to it, you were wrong. So, a lot of people, I feel like, just thought that I had My Love Story, but no, I had more than that. This is one I hope that I can figure out something with my shelves later on, because I have the pops for this, and I really want to put the series with the pop if I have it, and so I do have most of it, but the only bad thing is I didn't have room making my shelves look better and creating space where I could put more stuff. So that was kind of the only bad thing about that. And these ones for Orin Host Club are like new out of the box. Sitting here looking at the top of them. Some of them, the top is already starting to yellow, which is kind of an upset, but you know, you can't do very much about it. But that is everything that is in this one. Like I said, it was kind of more newer stuff that I knew you guys would know. But there's just a lot of good stuff out there, guys. You know, Sailor Moon, Orin Host Club, and like I've said on some of the other ones, like there's so much different stuff that you yourself can pick up and read and enjoy it, and it be something totally different than whatever you have read before. You know. And that's one thing, guys, that I would say is always kind of make sure that you don't stop yourself. Like, make sure you stop yourself whenever you realize that you're going over your budget too much. But I mean, if you have the money to do it and everything else, I highly recommend that you go and explore some of these other series, because some of these other series may turn out to be like some of your favorite stuff, you know. And if you're not going to view it or anything else like that, you really don't ever know if anybody else feels the same way, because there are different people that read certain manga and other stuff like that and don't really know what they're getting into, just because it's nothing that big to them. It's nothing that they really knew before. So it is really good to see all that other stuff and experience it, especially if somebody else isn't going to. You know, and it's something that you kind of have to do. I mean, there's certain series, like my favorite one, guys, Suikoden 3, like, there's nobody that's reading it. There's nobody that I know that has read it. If they have, they're really quiet about it. Remonster is one of my favorite ones too. I haven't seen anybody get into that and read it. I'm a Spider, so what? I've seen a few people read it. I know one person got into it because of me, but I mean, there's no reviews for it. There's nothing else. So I feel like a bunch of stuff kind of gets left in the dust. Otherworldly Isekai Nobu, I know there's one person that took my recommendation and is reading it. You're the best. Just telling you. Just shout out right there. But there's ones that they don't get a lot of stuff that actually comes out. There's not a lot of things that you can actually jump into and say, oh, this series is the best because of XYZ, all this other stuff. Just because there's nothing really that you can get into, I would kind of say. There's nothing that you can get into, supposedly, that nobody else has read. But then there's always all that other stuff that can be good or can't be good. And because either A, it's not popular with a lot of people, or B, a lot of people aren't reading it and giving it a recommendation, that a lot of these series actually get left out. And I think that's one of the things that happens with when you advertise like a favorite series of yours, that you're the only person doing it. And I think if us as a community did it all together, other stuff like that, maybe there would be a rise in more manga coming out, more manga getting published, and stuff like that. Even if that it's kind of like the grenade in the handbasket kind of thing. I feel like whenever a lot of us support the stuff, then the company opens up more. And if you are somebody that just focuses on like one thing, then obviously you're getting cut off from part of it. But then you also have all the other stuff that, because you didn't support it, even if you liked it, maybe you liked it, but you decided, I'm not going to buy it. That's you, and you not supporting it. I know it's kind of that whole debate too on people thinking it. Well, I'm the only person that didn't like that, something, or I'm the only person that's not supporting it, something like that. There will be another person that supports it. This is true, but you also have to think about how many people have been thinking about that. Because if you, me, and 3 other people all make that decision of, I don't have to buy this. I've read it. Somebody else will. buy it, and that will be my support, kind of, you know, then it kind of shows, well, it's not, there's not more support for it, and that's 5 people that would have done that couldn't. And that might just be in like one person's town with people that love manga. What if every town had 5 people that did that? That's a lot of towns. And so, I mean, if you like something and you're reading it, I recommend you pick it up. And Right Stuff is a good thing for that. I will hands down throw that out there. Right Stuff is a very good place to buy stuff at because it is cheaper, and all the different discounts and stuff, at least here in the US and stuff, it is spectacular. Great shipping, everything. Even if I have gotten a box that was damaged, everything, all the contents were great. I've never gotten anything where the contents were damaged because Right Stuff actually packages it hardcore. But that's one way to show your support with it, and one way for you to get into it more and actually show your support for that series. So don't think that you're the only person out there that, because you're not getting it, somebody else will pick it up for you. Because I can tell you, there's probably at least 20 other people at the same time when you're thinking that, they're thinking that. So, which I highly recommend. There are ones, like I said, I highly would recommend Otherworldly Izakaya Nobu, if you haven't read that. Read Monster, Suikoden 3, even though I think Volume 7 is really expensive. It's not super expensive. I think I've seen it as cheap as $30 and as high as 60 maybe. All the other ones are super cheap though. You can get those for probably less than $6. So I mean, it's kind of a give and take with that. One's doing really good for the other ones to fail. So anyway though, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoy the Manga Vault. Me going through, now that we are getting to a lot more newer stuff, I think you guys will actually know what they are, instead of the old ones where like you guys didn't know anything. There's probably like one person watching those that was like, I know what that is. So anyway, I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. There will probably be a couple more Manga Vaults come out. This should be box 6. And then there will be a box 7, 8, and 9. And then I have one more to fill up, which may not happen anytime soon, just because there's nothing really that I want to clear off my shelves just yet. So, which when that happens, might be the time when I filter some of this other manga back onto the shelves to kind of give it a different look. So, anyway though, guys, hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I know I've gotten a lot of people tell me that this is a great series because it's stuff that they would not have gotten to see before. None of this stuff is really out. You might randomly see it in a store and not think anything of it because it probably has been through the ringer, is tattered and torn and all this other stuff. And you're getting to see it for like the first time in a pretty good condition and actually get to semi-recognize what it is based off of me telling you about it. So, but stay tuned. Like I said, I have like 4 more boxes, 3 more boxes to go, and I hope you guys are like super enjoying this one still. It is a really good series, and I feel like it's stirring up a lot of nostalgia inside of me to be able to do that, and then look at some of the manga that's in my not my TBR shelves. Give you that. that's a monster of itself. But my current TBR, the stuff that you see kind of laying on the table or is in a box for me to read like soon, all that stuff going through it makes me want to consume more. So, you know. Anyway, I will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.